Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today is the 18th day of the 5th month of the 24th year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing extremely well out there. Now, as they say, this is the day after the night before. Let's just call this video the after party, or should I call it the after party of the after party? Anyway, you know what I mean. The last video I did was on P.Diddy, and if you look back at the timeline on that video and then go back and look at most of the bloggers, and especially the big name bloggers that are out there, my video came out before most of those people. All the big Stephen A. Smiths and all those people, my video was out long before theirs. So obviously anything I said in that last video is, you can see, it's probably just an original stuff that my own thoughts basically. I wasn't watching other people's videos to say anything. But the reason why I call this the after party is because we've all said similar things. Sometimes people listen to your videos and they say what you say. Maybe they listened to your video, maybe they didn't listen to your video, and they just had the same feelings that you had, and then it just comes out the same way. So I'm not saying people are watching any of my videos and then coming out with all this information. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. But what I am saying is that I had a conversation with somebody deep into the hours of last night about this P. Diddy situation with this abusive video we've seen on CNN. And though I and you know about what this brother was talking to me about, we didn't actually, nobody on the bloggers has actually mentioned this. I've watched about 10 or 12 videos since mine came out by some big names, and they speak for an hour sometimes, and an hour and a half, and they still don't mention this one point that a brother came to me and mentioned. And they say iron sharpens iron, so I thought I'd have to do an after party shot on this P. Diddy and the situation with him. And you know, the elephant in the room is that we see this man's violence towards women. We see how he batters a female, batters her down to the ground, drags her like she's some dog or whatever. We see this, and this is all because she's trying to leave him. And as the brother said, and this is the elephant in the room. What the brother says is, this is from a man who could have almost any woman he wants. Now, how is that possible? Most men have to struggle to get a woman. They go to a bar, they have a struggle. These kind of guys go somewhere, they walk in, half the women or 3/4 of the women in the place want to be with them. They click their fingers or call someone and say, I want to talk to that woman. She runs off with him. How can a man who can get almost any woman he desires behave the way he behaved? If that doesn't tell you a psychosis, that's why I don't really care. I said people like that can do anything. There's nothing anyone can tell me that would surprise me about this man. Nothing. Whether you talk about sexual and all, nothing. You couldn't say, because I know people. I know the character of people, and I understand that how our minds usually quite work. If you have the access to the amount of females that this man has, and you still behave like this when one is actually leaving you, I don't care if she's got under your skin, if she's your sweetheart, if she's your, the love of your life, I don't care. If you can behave anywhere like this and be triggered like that with that level of access to women, there is more than just a little bit of intoxication going on here, like they like to say. Oh, he was intoxicated, or he's a little upset. This is ridiculous argument. Not from a normal person. This is a ridiculous argument. This is absolutely ridiculous for any man, regardless of whether you can get women or not, to be intoxicated and behave like that. But to have the access to the amount of women that this man has, and at all levels of the game, and then still be triggered because one of them wants to actually leave you. Unbelievable. It's disgusting, it's terrible. I know I keep going back on about that, but this is what we need to look at, because it looks a bit like what we used to hear back in the day of some of these pimps, and some of these pimps, when they beat the hell out of their woman so she can't leave them, and she comes back every time she's beaten, she's threatened coming back. Pimp behavior. This is the same kind of thing that we're seeing here with this lady. She actually tried, now we're hearing more information, that she was so afraid of him that even when she did leave the hotel, she tried to get back into the hotel to make up with him. This is in her apparently affidavit or whatever she put out there. Yeah, she tried to get back into the hotel, and the hotel said that they had seen the security camera, and she should go back and leave and go back, because this guy's obviously, he's unhinged. He's unhinged. It's an indictment on the whole community, really, and I'm saying everybody, the whole community, that people like this can get so high up and be revered. And you got, I mean, I used to like this guy they called Fat Joe back in the day, as a rapper, you know. But I heard him say something before this video came out, where he actually says, and I'm going to paraphrase and hear what he says. He says, I'm not sure about all these accusations. I don't know if he did or didn't do it. But me and my family are praying for his and his family. Me and my family are praying for his and you don't know whether he's guilty of all these charges that's coming out. And we were hearing about all these terrible charges. But yet what are you praying for him for? If you should be praying for him because you know he's innocent. And you know his character, and you know he wouldn't do a thing like that. That's no problem. If you believe that, then you pray for him and pray for his family. But this shows you how dirty all of these people are and how they behave. This after party, as I'm sort of alluding to, is you go to the party, that's good, you go home. But then they have an after party. R. Kelly was famous for this. And then they have an after party. Yeah, and what goes on at these after? Why couldn't you do everything at the party? And why couldn't you do everything at the after party? What is going on at these after parties that certain people have to be weeded out before you can actually get down to what you want to get? This has been going on I know this has been going on forever. I know that, you know, the Hugh Hefner mansion is what it sounds like he's trying to recreate, because we heard the great Jim Brown and literally confess how they used to go to this man's mansion and there were ladies there and there was sex parties and everyone was in a room and you had 10 women if you wanted it. This is Jim Brown. This is a revered black Jim Brown. He says this. And this is what was going on. This is where Richard Pryor, all these people were going. So he's obviously, P. Diddy has recreated that same kind of behavior that was going on. And because nothing happened to Hugh Hefner, he probably thought nothing will ever happen to him. But I don't understand these people in America. They seem to get a certain amount of money in their pocket and they forget that they're black. And that what goes for them never goes for you. They don't seem to understand this. They always seem to get to this point where they think, oh, they're untouchable. You're black. You're always touchable. I don't care where you are in the world, you're always going to be touchable, different from other people that don't look like you. I don't know when that wake-up call is going to come, but it seems like the money intoxicates people more than anything else and leads them down this road where they now believe that nobody can do anything to them. You know, and for instance, everyone should recognize. Remember Oprah Winfrey when she went into Europe and they said, like she was trying to steal a bag. You can't afford that bag. She's looking for a bag or a purse, and the European woman was saying, "Oh, I don't think you can afford it." She didn't know who Oprah Winfrey was, and Oprah Winfrey had a meltdown. Like, how can somebody not know who I am? What's wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? I mean, when do they stop being human and understand that there is no amount of money that is ever going to change who's inside of you and who you are? It can't happen. They need to know this, and those of you on the way up and trying to get into that money field and make that big money, keep going, keep trying, keep rising, but just remember who you are before you get there. So they can never take that away from you. They can take the money away from you, they can never take away who you are, because that's the most important thing about you. Anyway, take care. The After Party, Live for Love TV.
Make sure you like, share and subscribe to Live for Love TV.